So let me go across to YC Modi, former NIA DG, who is also here on our show. Mr. Modi, what happens from here onwards when it comes to protocols and processes? It wasn't easy for the Indian sleuths to fight a very long legal battle on foreign soil, but they've managed to secure the extradition. Diplomacy, did that also play a big role?
In extradition matters, there are two aspects. One is political will of the government, relationship of political leaders, relationship of two countries from where the accused is required to be extradited. And then there are procedural matters. In this case, it shows the strong will of the present government and the relationship with US, which facilitated the return of this man to India. But as far as legal matters are concerned, evidence is concerned, NIA did a wonderful job. They did not leave any loose ends. And whatever possible evidence was available, that was shared with the US authorities, who in turn convinced the US courts. Because it's a very interesting situation. Here we cannot hire our lawyers in the extradition proceedings. The lawyers are of American prosecution agencies. So we had to first convince American authorities about the adequacy of the evidence, and then thereafter American authorities, prosecution authorities convinced the court. And in such a high-profile matter, it is always that the accused try to take advantages of whatever loopholes, whatever opportunities as per law are available. So that is why it took so much of time. And I remember we kept on answering all the queries at different levels. In fact, it was a regular job for us. We sent our teams many times to US to brief the US authorities and convince them about the adequacy of the evidence and involvement of Tahawwur Rana in this heinous crime.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the cases that he was trying to build is that he is going to be killed in Indian jails because he is an ISI spy, he is a Pakistani national, and then if he is lodged in an Indian jail, his entire life is going to be under threat. But Ashok Sajjanhar, the importance of diplomacy, because many have said it has taken way too long. The fact that you had Prime Minister Modi meeting Donald Trump coming out and said there is a very evil man in our jails and he must be sent back to India. The significance and the optics of the message going out from India here onwards when it comes to zero tolerance for terror.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on the show. Yes, you're very right. And, I agree completely with the previous speaker. There are these two parallel strands that are involved. One is in terms of the political will. And I think we've seen that there is great convergence of views. And both India and the United States are on the same page. Prime Minister Modi is, as you mentioned very correctly, Meghna, zero tolerance as far as terror is concerned. And so also is President Trump. You would recall his statement, the tweet that he had given out on 1st of January 2018, just after he'd come to office first time, and he had said that, we are completely against terrorism and we will keep fighting against terrorism. And so, this political convergence is very important, but on the other side, the legal issues are very important, and that is what really takes the time.
Absolutely.
Even though the approval might have been given from the highest levels, but as far as the courts are concerned, as far as the judges and the lawyers are concerned,
painstaking legal work, and even as he's explaining that there were several questions which had to be answered by the NIA repeatedly over the years to ensure that the entire process actually takes place.